It's Mike Cossum here from Fleetwood TV. I'm here today at Fleetwood Town Council offices to speak to Terry Rogers, Chairman of Fleetwood Town Council, about the year he's had and what the plans are for the future.
Fleetwood has had its economic problems over the years on the demise of the fishing industry, which Fleetwood was king within the northwest of Britain. But we have to be real that unfortunately, because of national and international events, that Fleetwood, towns like Fleetwood, take this economic knock very hard.
Yes, indeed.
So what we're, myself as chairman and the town council, we've already started implementing, and this was thought about several years ago, that to bring Fleetwood back into the tourism structure for the whole of Lancashire, Greater Manchester, and even Yorkshire for that, the whole northern area of Fleetwood. And we see it by big organisations like Barclays pulling out of Fleetwood now, the banking sector are pulling out of Fleetwood. That does affect our local people, but as a town and parish council, what can we actually do about that? What I can do about it with the town council is to ensure that them empty buildings left by these organisations, that we replace it with another organisation which can deliver a service to the people of Fleetwood. People, for instance, I could use Marks and Spencer's as a classic example, that a lot of our patrons in Fleetwood go to Clevedon to shop at Marks and Spencer's Foods. We used to have a Marks and Spencer's in Fleetwood delivering a great service of food and other wares within this. I'm sure we could turn that around as well.
Other shops are available.
And other shops are available, not just Marks and Spencer's, you're totally right. It's about choice.
But
it's about choice. Whether or not Fleetwood can deliver that choice to the people of Fleetwood, I don't think it can at the minute on our high street.
Well, this is what I was saying, we go back to this idea of if we had a 5-year kind of long-term plan, or we knew where we were all going to be in 5 years, and people, we had a vision of what we wanted to be.
Sure.
I think that if with the redevelopments to the seafront, you can then sell that tourism. That then brings more visitors in. The roads will have to be then sorted out, which the money's already aside for. That
it has.
They did fast track that then, and that get the access into the town a lot better.
Sure.
But if you've got more people coming again, it then leads to the situation where, well, maybe we can get a train line back then. There's a demand for it there.
Sure.
You've got a massive footfall into the town centre then hopefully then the big businesses will all come back again because there's a market there for something. But really what we should do is, like you said, with the town team Fleetwood thing, would be better if we all work together and we filled Lord Street with independent traders. When people came to Fleetwood, it was a completely different shopping experience.
It was.
And we built on the fact that it was the Victorian architecture that's down there as such, that we had a tram line that goes running through until Manchester and Nottingham and all these other people went back to the trams. We were the only town with this traditional tramway in our
kept with that tradition, and we are very dependent on that tram system to bring the visitors to Blackpool, to our famous Fleetwood market. But we need to give more of an experience to them visitors. They need to know about our town. Like we've already covered the fact that a lot of people don't know we have such a beautiful bay and beach area within Fleetwood.
Exactly.
And I'm sure if we can get that message across to our visitors, or I've often heard it being quoted as the overspill from Blackpool for a day out to Fleetwood and whatever.
And that's how the town should sell itself.
That's right.
It's not like Blackpool.
That's
completely different. A day out, if you came to Blackpool for a few days as a family, and it is quite expensive to go to the pleasure beach, to the tower, and all these things, even though with these residence passes and all these other things. If you're a family of 4 or more, it's going to be expensive. Whereas a trip on the tram down to Fleetwood,
that's right.
You can spend a day out on Fleetwood Beach where it's not as busy and they're not all the distractions of these things. Right. It's a traditional seaside, bucket and spade.
You're totally
play on
right,
the parks,
and that's what we want to see.
In the splash pad, that'll be there. And
that's right. Our people, there are people out there from the greater area of Lancashire and Greater Manchester and Liverpool who don't have a facility of a beach, full stop.
Yeah, there's 7 million people within an hour's drive.
And whether or not it's 1914 or 2014, children will always love this wide expanse of sea, sand and fresh air.
The article in the paper this in summertime where the lady had come from Chorley, I visited Freeport, and she wrote things. I didn't even know there was a beach there. So we never sell that, and yet our beach views are unrivaled in Lancashire. Like you're looking at the Lake District in Over Morecambe Bay. It's only was good enough for John Lennon to come here.
It certainly was, yeah.
But that's the thing when you say about nothing's changed as such, because that view, that sunset at night time when the sun's going down in summer, and how big that sky is, and John Lennon sang about above us only sky.
And it could
he came here, you just think, because that view has never changed.
We've had some very famous folk from Fleetwood. We've had John Lennon, like you say, visit the town. We have Alfie Bowl,
Yep.
the world famous tenor from Fleetwood. We have our Fisherman's Friend lozenges.
Yeah, that are worldwide.
We have a League One
Yep.
football team. To take a pun, we've got the smallest part of Little and Large. He's very well liked in the town of Fleetwood.
Our women are tough women. Look at Jane
Our
Couch, world
women,
champion
yeah,
boxer,
you're
one of the
right.
first ones.
Yeah,
So this idea for Team Fleetwood, this will be for 2015. Can you give me any more information about the idea, the ethos, what you're trying to do with
Sure.
that?
This was an idea spun of Margaret Lund, who's part of the Rotary Club in Fleetwood, that she actually saw, and I did, the amazing work that a lot of people who live in Fleetwood put together for the events, i.e. the bonfire, the transport festival we have in Fleetwood, other situations with like getting involved in the heritage of Fleetwood, Fleetwood in Bloom, which we've just joined again after a 7-year absence and been very successful. Yeah, big award for that, and a heritage award.
Yep.
We will be holding an event in the new year to bring these key players together, Mike, and because everybody, I feel, gets up in the morning, lifts their head off that pillar and wants to do the best for Fleetwood, and so do we. And all I ask is that these key players in Fleetwood, from the Rotary, from the Civic Society, from other organisations, community organisations in Fleetwood, we come together and we get a general consensus of where we want to go. And that will be the 5-year programme. That will be the catalyst for a 5-year plan for the town of Fleetwood. But it is about joint working practices with Wyre Borough Council and the County Council to deliver this programme. And then that's proven its worth in 5.5 years, where we've done joint projects with Wyre Council to the tune of over £140,000, but delivered for Fleetwood. That's the main thing. We have to work with those authorities, and better we do, because at the end of the day, Wyre Borough have been quite successful in local bids recently, with the lottery, bid for the Memorial Park, with the £1.5 million Coastal Communities Fund, but your town council has been involved in them.
Right. And on that note, Terry, I'd like to thank you very much for all your time this morning.
You're more than welcome.
Hopefully this is going to be the first of a few. Every month we can have a chat. You can tell us where Team Fleetwood's at. People can get involved. We've also been asked, we're going to put some contact details on the screen, that if you've got any questions you want to ask Terry, you've got anything you want to know about the town council, if you email them through to Michelle, and hopefully we'll see you sometime in the new year, Terry. We'll have a chat and see where we're at.
And can I be off on behalf of the town council, wish everybody in Fleetwood a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.